Gwego. Deganöhsö nege nigaso ununtawaka ni agatayoni. Good morning and welcome. My name is Ronnie Reitter. I told you that I'm Seneca, and I gave you my clan, which is Wolf Clan, and my family comes from the Ganondagan territory. So today I'm here and I'm going to show you how to make a Cornhusk doll. These were toys used for our children long ago. The children still play with them today. I'm here in front of the Three Sisters garden, and of course we grew corn, beans, and squash. Many people are still growing it today. And so I'm going to start here with one corn husk. You have to wet it first. And you don't have to get real picky about the width of it. You don't even need scissors at this point, because when they're wet, they just rip very easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 pieces of corn husk, put the narrow end against the wide. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to start rolling it from the end. You take the other piece of corn husk, and there's actually an outside and an inside. So you want the outside to fold down over the head. Take this roll, stick it in here, and you're going to take the corn husk and roll it around this other roll. Okay, so now you have something that looks like this. So now I'm going to use my sinew. This is artificial sinew. You can buy it in rolls like this, and what you do is divide it into 4 to 6 pieces. It's very workable. You can use crochet cotton or any kind of string. I've even heard that some people use dental floss. Any of these would work. And so you're going to take this sinew and wrap it very tightly above one end of the roll. And you're going to knot it a couple times. Okay. Then you're going to take the bottom end of it, which you've made shorter, and it takes a little maneuvering to get it nice and tight. And you can kind of twist it, and you're going to wrap that and tie it very tightly. Right, then I always trim my strings off. And the top part of the corn husk that's longer, you're going to open that up, and you can actually split it in half and pull it down. And you're going to work this around, because this is really the outer covering for your doll's face, or his head, her head. So you're going to open it up and work it around nice and flat. Do the same with this piece. You want to overlap it. And you can twist it, and you want to get that covering as tight as you can. Okay, take another piece of sinew, and you're going to wrap this very tightly underneath. So now you have formed the head. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll it around, look at it, and usually there's like one side to it that's maybe a little bit nicer or smoother than the rest. So then you're going to divide your husk. These kind of form your neck. Divide it in half and keep keep sight of that smooth part that you want to be the front part of the face. Okay, now you take another corn husk, and it doesn't have to be really huge. And again, I'm going to rip it in half, put the long end or the wide end to the narrow end, and start rolling it like a Tootsie Roll. Roll it up nice and tight. This is going to be your arms. You're going to tie it off in the middle, pulling it nice and tight. And then you're going to tie each end. And because these are longer, I'm going to go in probably like a good inch from the end and tie it off. So you're going to take the arm and put it inside the middle where you have divided the husk underneath the head. And you want to get it nice and tight as far up as you can. And I'm going to tie it off because it keeps it from slipping. And again, just wind it around so it gets nice and tight. And then you can knot it. Okay, so it's kind of starting to look like a scarecrow, but we'll work with that and trim it down later. So right now, you just really want to build up the body a little bit. And so I'm going to take some husk and tear narrow strips. And I'm going to fold these in half. And I'm going to start putting them kind of diagonal across her body, like so. Okay, and you're going to pull these husks down nice and firm. Okay, so now you've kind of built up the shoulder area, and we're going to tie this off kind of like underneath what would be her armpits. And again, just take a piece of sinew, you're going to wind it around nice and tight and tie it off. So we're going to build up the bottom part, which would make the skirt part of the doll. Okay, and how we do that, you could tie this off again, but I'm going to kind of let it go. And I'm going to take a couple husks, and you look at the wide part of the husk and figure out how big you want the bottom to be. So this will be good if I rip it in half. Put those together, and then another one, okay. So now, in order to make the doll's bottom dress part, we're going to take these two husks, and the narrow end we're going to put on the doll, and we're going to put two in front, and we're going to put two in back. And you could put more layers to it. The more layers that you put, the fuller and the stronger the skirt will be. But for today's purposes, I think we're going to go with two in front and two in back. And then we're going to take a piece of sinew, and we're going to wind it around almost in the same spot again. And again, pulling that nice and tight because you don't want it to slip when it dries. Well, now you see that you have formed the dress part. So you're gonna work these leaves so that they're gonna lay flat. And you want the top as flat as you can get it. And you have to bear in mind that how your husks are is the way they're going to dry. So if you have them flapping open like that, they're going to dry and they won't really hold shape. So what you do is form it the way you want it, and then take a piece of sinew and tie it very lightly. Now your bottom might be a little even, so you're going to take scissors and you can cut that down. And again, round it out because you want it to stand probably. And I'm going to kind of finish her off. I'm going to take a narrow piece of corn husk and kind of fold it in half. And I'm going to put kind of a sash around where the skirt joins the body, and that will just kind of finish it off a little bit. And then for these long scarecrow arms, you're going to take the roll of her arms and come out maybe 1/2 inch and pinch it, and then fold her arms down. You see that her hands are pretty uneven. So what I'm going to do is trim these down. If you just want them at the sides, you would lightly tie them down. If you want them in front, like she's going to be holding something, a basket, or maybe a baby at some point, because I like to make them all different. Tonight, all I can do is clip these and she will stay, the skirt will stay in. Hodinöhsö.